we should start because we have quite tough agenda for today. As we have a custom, I'm going to tell you a short story about Japanese culture, Japanese principles. First of all, I would like to say that we really appreciate that you are staying with us and supporting us every day. That's very crucial for us. This is really important and valuable for us and for our team. And as you know, life is all about ups and downs. And sometimes we face inevitable things and have to accept it. And it doesn't mean to give up, definitely not. It's more about not wasting energy on something that is drawing you down. Since you are already familiar with 6 principles of our work, it's time to tell you guys about one more crucial element. It is called Shikata Ganai, or in English, acceptance and letting go. Nowadays, there are too many distractions around us, which don't let us move forward and reach new heights. That's why sometimes we prefer to take a deep breath and say, Shikata Ganai. Shikata Ganai or Shoganai in a Japanese phrase that means it cannot be helped or it is what it is and nothing can be done about it. But it is really about acceptance. The term refers to the concept of accepting events or things which we cannot change and moving on. It's easier said than done, definitely. When you are in a situation that's out of your control, it's tempting to torture yourself, wondering what went wrong, blaming yourself, or trying to think something or make something work. But more often than not, when something cannot be helped, it is a sign that it was truly not meant to be. When you let it go, or something not meant for you, you find relief and feel peace. When you are in the midst of a tough situation, it seems like you are in the middle of the forest and all you can see is trees. But by walking away, you take yourself out of the situation and put yourself in a new setting. Sometimes you can see the value by just stepping away, and sometimes it takes longer to get perspective. But before you know it, you will have a new vantage point and be able to see the entire landscape. Now you know that to say Shikata Ganai doesn't refer to weakness. It is a part of being mature and a way to stop the endless loop of negative around us. That's why we are using all our energy to deliver something great and useful for you. And be sure that when the storm passes away, we will be on one step further. And I like this principle. I've learned it from my experience. Stay fearless, guys, and stay with us. And our next point is to go through today's agenda. First of all, I would like to share with you our iOS and Android development progress updates. Then I'm going to report our first milestone completion because, for iOS development and with iOS team, we've completed the feature development and now we're working on the polishing, bug fixing, and so on. After that, I'm going to show you several features, several updates of the features for iOS and Android. Also, it's worth touching that I'm going to share with you release plans and second milestone review briefly, because we are really close to finish the first milestone of our Kusama Treasury grant for our iOS development, and we're going to start another milestone, but we should do several preliminary steps. And as usually, we're going to have our Q&A session. So let's get it started from the first point of our agenda, and that's about our team progress updates. For the iOS team, our recent features were SendFlow updates, and the feature is ready. We've finished the next performance high-low testing, and we've managed to implement several runtime processing logic update. So now we are working on warnings, error processing, alerts, and different edge situations. And actually, final polishing and bug fixing is in progress for iOS team. For Android team, we've completed receive flow. It's ready. Also, we've completed network issue solution, and I'm going to show it. For nomination pool staking, we finished create a pool and choose validators for a pool, and that's the final case for the nomination pool staking. Now we are working on send flow updates and address book. For the send flow, that's the analog of our regular contacts functionality for applications. So I think that's all regarding our team progress updates, and we can switch to another point. I would like to remind you, before the report itself, I would like to remind you that our goal was and is to design the main wallet flows for the sake of scalability and convenience. Ultimately, we are going to have 202 chains. As a result, we are going to have more than 1,000 assets, including main utility tokens or ML tokens, which are teleported, and stablecoins. From this perspective, the issue of navigating over this tremendous variety seemed to be very tricky, but I'm sure we've managed to solve it. First of all, I would like to state that we've completed performance improvements, and we've managed to make 2 rounds of high-low testing. The first one was for 100 networks, and the second recent round was for 200 networks. So there were emulated networks, but the application was loaded as it is for real. I would like to say that the first round was quite successful. The cold launch took about 1-2 seconds, and the hot one was even faster. So I think this performance upgrade is amazing, because we used to have more than probably 10 seconds, sometimes 50 seconds on cold launch. So I think that's amazing. Unfortunately, the second round revealed several technical constraints. So finally, we decided to implement progress bar and splash screen for the cold launch, because we measured the time of cold launch, and we discovered that the time is quite long. It was about 10 to 20 seconds long. So we have the splash screen and the progress bar. The next point, we've completed wallet main flows. Well, these flows contain wallet management, network management, asset management, main screen UI UX update, asset details update, send flow, receive flow, and corresponding logic. All these flows have been put together in the best and the most convenient way. And as I've mentioned before, our goal was and is to provide the most scalable solution and the most convenient solution for the ecosystem. I'm really happy and honored to state that in parallel with the main flow of our development, we could implement scam warning feature, because initially it wasn't a part of our grant, but finally we decided to take part in this implementation, and we've implemented scam warning feature, which helps our users not to transfer their funds to scammers or wrong centralized exchange addresses, because you can mesh up your withdrawal addresses and deposit addresses, and probably if you if you send your funds to withdrawal addresses instead of deposit addresses, you can have a lot of issues with the tech support. The next amazing feature I would like to point out is address book for the send flow. That's the contacts feature analog for the wallet. I love this feature because it allows to simplify the transfer flow. And if you have regular transactions and popular addresses like centralized exchanges, friends and partners, and so on. So it's really convenient. And I've met several similar solutions like MetaMask extension and so on, but I think our solution is very convenient and it fits the whole interface. Finally, regarding our new UI UX, I would mention that we are in progress of removing capital framework. Unfortunately, the issue isn't 100% ready. We are going to gradually remove the rest of its artifacts in the nearest future. But yeah, I think we are really close to totally remove this part of our application because it was a great initial part. It helped to start wallet developing from scratch. But the more feature we implemented, the more difficult the process become. So we've decided to remove it totally, and it will affect the scalability and our future progress. The next important feature and the next important functionality is nomination pools or staking with nomination pools. This is the brand new feature on Kusama and Polkadot. On Kusama, it was activated about a month ago. On Polkadot, it was activated yesterday. So it's really brand new feature. And actually, I'm proud to say that Fearless Wallet is the first mobile wallet which has this implementation. We've almost completed the implementation. And you could dive deeper into details and flows by watching our previous demos, because today I'm going to show you only creating a pool and choosing a validators. So that's all for today, because we have a quite short time. I just want to briefly count the points of and features we've completed as a part of the nomination pool staking. Actually, we've managed to update some initial screen for staking, some basic staking screens. We've developed from scratch a join a pool flow, because yeah, it's gonna be the most popular flow on the ecosystem. Probably you know that the nomination pools means that you can stake with a less amount, because if you are going to participate in staking on Polkadot, you should prepare 150 dots, and it's not sometimes it's not affordable, or sometimes it's not convenient for anybody. So for nomination pools, it might be very affordable, easy, and it much cheaper. Also, together with Join a Pool, we've developed staking management flows like stake more, stake less, redeem your tokens, claim rewards. And for who are interested in pool management, we've developed the create a pool flow. And the very important part of it is selecting a validators for a pool. Definitely, there are a rest of pool management flows which are not a part of our first milestone and grant. So we are going to apply for another submission, for another grant, and we can complete this pool management features. And we are ready for the demo. First of all, I would like to start with the send flow update. And I would like to give you several basic ideas of improvement. At our previous demo, I was able to show you the previous version of SendFlow. But now, yeah, we've managed to update this. The main idea of the improvement is to add to the SendFlow more flexibility. taking into account that we are going to have hundreds of networks and thousands of assets, it seems very inconvenient to switch between main screen and send screen many times if a user wants to have multiple transfers. So if you want to have just one transfer, it doesn't matter. But if you want to have multiple transfers, if you want to transfer different assets, it's inconvenient. So the part of the navigation logic has been moved to the send flow. And I'm going to show you the basic send flow screen. Okay, I'm going to show you the... Finally, we have a very flexible tool to make transfers. Here on the screen, a user can choose the asset for sending and customize a network where he or she is going to make a transfer. The order, by the way, the order is important because assets and networks aren't independent entities. Since asset is the main unit of the transfer, we've decided to give it the main role in navigation. As far as you can see, we have an amount and asset here, IUSD, and we have a network Karura. But we can switch between different networks here, between Bifrost. We can switch between Bifrost, Karura, Akala, all networks where this asset exists. But it doesn't mean that I can change the asset. I can change the asset here. I can choose a Kusama, but definitely I should specify the network where I'm going to have the Kusama transfer. For example, Kusama network. And I can switch between StateMine, Cointer, Bifrost, and Karura. Okay, let's get back to Karura and to IUSD on Karura network. But I should copy the address of this wallet, of the account, to make a transfer. I have IUSD on other account, and I can initiate the transfer here. So I can put the address here. Then I can enter the amount. Let's try to transfer 1 IUSD. So the validation is successful. Our address is valid. The amount is valid. And yeah, we can see a quite low network fee. The next screen is preview screen. And the final screen, and here we can confirm. We can see the original address. We can see the address where we are going to send our transfer, the amount and network fee, and we can confirm here. Yeah, and that's the up-to-date successful screen. That's all for iOS presentation, and that's all regarding our send flow update. So the next point I would like to cover is our network issues solving flow. First of all, I would like to give you a bit of context regarding the feature. The more networks we add to the wallet, the more probability that some of them may have issues. Their nodes may be out of service because of various reasons. We have been facing similar problems pretty often, especially when a parachain has just one node type, and it's quite a popular case. It's really crucial for the user experience not to distract a user from the main actions. On the other hand, a user should be aware of issues and able to solve them. Also, users can import a wallet without Ethereum accounts, and it's not very often case, but yeah, it can happen. And they should be able to add the account later. And definitely all these mentioned issues should be processed. And we've come up with an idea of the interface and the flow, which is quite smooth and convenient, and which allows us to solve these issues. I'm going to show you just two scenarios because adding Ethereum accounts and adding this and solving this issue can take a lot of time. So the first case, and actually we have a kind of hidden feature here. We can generate these issues because sometimes it's difficult to catch it or to track it. But we've developed the hidden feature which allows us to activate it. So as far as you can see on top of the main screen, you can see the balance, and under the balance you can see this label, network issues, and you can tap on it. But finally, yeah, we just have one issue. I'm going to generate another one. So yeah, cool. We can three issues, but they are all of two different types. For a network with several node types, a user can go and manage nodes on their own. And you can see the button here, switch nodes, and we can go to this flow. And yeah, definitely we have an after balancing node functionality, but sometimes it can't work. And yeah, we can switch between nodes manually, because sometimes I understand on finality node can have issues, the dweller node can have issues, and I can switch node manually. So after choosing the node, we can go to the main screen. That's the finish of our flow. But for another, there is the worst situation when you don't have a lot of options. There is a case when just one node is available, one type of node is available. And from this perspective, we can just tell user that there is a problem with this node, and that the network or node is unavailable, and the user can wait a bit or ask a question from a community which support these networks, which support these nodes. That's all about the notification and network issue solution. And we can proceed with the final flow for today. And that's the flow of creating a pool. And actually, I can show you that I can have several test tokens on Kusama test network. So actually, we have a test environment. They are Polkadot and Kusama local nodes, and we have a great amount of tokens, the up-to-date functionality. But during the flow, you can wonder that some figures can be weird or significant. As usually, I would like to share with you some preliminary ideas. Creating a pool considers that you are going to look after it and manage it. So it doesn't work like you are just create and forget about it and expect for a great interest from that. It doesn't work this way. Because yeah, it considers your responsibility for a pool, because you are going to provide an opportunity for other users to participate in staking. And if you are not going to be respectful for that, yeah, it's not your choice, definitely. The second point is that the flow consists of two parts. The first part, or both parts, are really important. And the first part allows you to create pool itself. So it's like the initial part. And the second part is very similar to the regular case. It's the part of selecting validators for the pool, because without validators, the pool can't earn tokens or can't get rewards. A creator can follow a seamless flow through both steps, or can interrupt it and get back to it later. And let's get started with the pool creation. So you can see our regular staking screen with the information about pool staking, with the estimated earnings. We adjusted to the regular case. and we can create a pool with the balance like 100. Then we can start push this button, start staking. We have this intermediary screen to give you more details about how fast you can earn the rewards, how much your interest, and how much time it takes to unstake your tokens and get your rewards. And yeah, we are going to create a pool. So the interface is very straightforward. We have these advanced features, advanced functions for the pool, and I would like to briefly touch the main roles of the pool, because as you remember, for the regular staking, there are two possible roles, like stash account and controller account. But yes, stash account and controller account may be the same account, and that's the most regular case. But yeah, for the pool, it's the same, but you can distribute the responsibility of managing the pool. That's quite amazing. That's quite efficient, I think, because if we want to be partners and we are going to manage the pool together, I think it's useful. So let's briefly touch the main roles. So depositor creates the pool, and it's the initial number. The depositor can only leave the pool once. All other members have left. Once they leave by withdrawing, the pool is fully removed from the system. So it seems like depositor is the main role of the pool, because it's responsible for the main actions of the pool. Nominator can select the validators for the pool. So it's the role to manage and to choose between the best set of validators. State toggler can change the pool state and kick members. Kicking members means permissionlessly unbond or withdraw members from the pool if the pool is blocked. So sometimes we can decide to block the pool or stop pool functioning. And we can have the final role, that is root. The root can change the nominator, state toggler, or itself. Further, it can perform any of the actions the nominator or state toggler can. So it's kind of the more universal role, which can use all other important roles. We are not going to change nominators, state togglers, but I can show you that it's quite easy for existing wallets. But we're going to add another functionality which allows our users to add a random, like custom wallet to these roles. And the one and only thing we should put here is pool name, and we can call it another cool pool. We should choose amount, but the minimum amount is 1. I think the more is amount, the more interesting the pool can look for potential participants. And the final step is to push create. We have our regular confirmation screen with all necessary data, and we can push confirm here. So that's the next step I've mentioned before. So if we would like to complete the pool adjustment, we should choose validators. And we have quite regular flows here because it's similar to regular staking. We can select suggested validators or select it by manually using sorting, filters, and so on. But yeah, we don't have a great deal of validators here. There are just 2 of them, and we can choose them. We should confirm that, and network consumes a fee for that, and we can just push confirm. Here it is. So the pool is created, has been created, and it's working since that moment. There is the state of the pool. The other features will be available here, but that's the point of another discussion, another demo, and so on. For iOS team, as I've mentioned before, we're just final preparation before the release left, but we should shift the release dates a bit later because we want to prepare the application before this very important release for us. We are going to clean it to make it very clean and very convenient without any bugs. So that's the goal for now, to prepare the application before the release. These dates, like November 8th or 10th, seems quite feasible for the release of iOS version, which contains new UI UX update and nomination pool staking. The next step for our iOS team is grooming and development launch for two very important features like democracy 2.0 set of features and the app connector signer logic and UI. But it should be mentioned that we have to submit the second part of our proposal, and we have to get confirmation from the Kusama treasury and from the Kusama consulars. So that's the preliminary preparation before the second milestone. For Android team, there are still several features that should be completed before the release. They are address book and scam warning for the send flow. Also, we are going to implement warnings, error processing, UI skeletons, and other UI improvements which make our application more beautiful, more convenient, and more informative. And for nomination pools, we are finishing the flows, and we're going to complete and polish all flows and fix all possible bugs before the release. And regarding release dates, November 18th or 23rd seems quite feasible and real. And the final point of our agenda for today is the second milestone of our Kusama Treasury Grant overview. As I've already mentioned, there are two features like Democracy 2.0 implementation, which includes on-chain and off-chain functionality, and we are going to provide users with such features like launch and participate in off-chain discussions on Polk Assembly and Subsquare. Also, users will be able to comment and like the posts. So it looks like the big part of social media functionality inside of our wallet. It's going to be this big part. Regarding on-chain functionality, we are going to implement launching referenda flows, track its statuses and parameters, and voting for referenda. Taking into account that governance 2.0 is kind of more complicated than the first one, I think so it can take time, definitely. For the app connector signer integration, it should be mentioned that it's not almost ready. I think it works for Android because we reported the success regarding proof of concept development for the bounty for the app connector. So Android is almost ready. I think we should implement up-to-date interface for our applications. But for iOS, it's going to be developed from scratch. And also we have, as a part of second milestone, we are going to implement XCM teleports, which will contain relay to parachain and parachain to parachain teleports. And finally, we are going to support NFT for RMRK or on Kusama and on StateMine and unique pellets. I see the first question. Hello, friends. How are you? And I'm facing a problem from last 2 weeks. Stake my Kusama on Fearless Wallet. What happened whenever I go to staking option, my Fearless Wallet get that then screen? Does anyone of you have this problem? That's the problem regarding the crash on staking, and the fix is already done, and it's available on our GitHub repository. You can find the link on our Telegram chat. We are going to see it on Google Play shortly, about 7 days since we published the build on Google Play. It's going to be available for everybody on Google Play very soon. How many Fearless wallets have been downloaded, and how many of these are actually active wallets? With the Substrate 4 update on Sora, when do you think Fearless will be an active wallet? And once it's a valid wallet, we'll be able to use Polkaswap to swap wallets, tokens in... we face this question regularly every hour demo. So that's not a great deal to add XOR token. I think as soon as the Sora mainnet is upgraded to Substrate 4, at the same day, the XOR token will be available on Fearless Wallet. But for other tokens, it will take a bit more time, not a great deal of time, but a bit more time, because we need to process all data regarding ORML tokens and to add them inside of our utils libraries. And for Polkaswap, I think together with our mobile application updates, and we are going to have our browser extension updates, and the browser extension which have been announced recently is going to have this functionality to inject mobile wallet into the extension and process the app transactions. Together, these two solutions will provide you with the functionality of working with the Polkaswap on Fearless Wallet. But yeah, definitely we are going to have a native integration of Polkaswap inside of the Fearless Wallet. We have it in our Q4 schedule. It's going to happen at the end of the year, not earlier. As you probably know, we have an ongoing voting for our proposal regarding a brand new browser extension and desktop application. You can follow the link, encode it into the QR code, and fearlessly vote for the Fearless Wallet. And don't forget to stay fearless. Thank you very much for your time and for joining our demo.